We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Can anybody hear me?
Day and welcome to Martensville, Saskatchewan. It's the Curling Stadium, Martensville International. We have here Braden Calvert versus Scott Howard. Dave Schmel joined by the Dean of Drawweight, Terry Corbin. How you doing, Terry?
Doing well, thank you, sir. Looking forward to this game. Very familiar with Team Scott Howard, and I did Mr. Calvert's team yesterday. I can't remember which game it was, but I did it. I just remember it being a good game, so looking forward to this. And I'm also looking forward to reconnecting with you.
Yeah, it's been a little while. We've obviously had some other minor curling tournaments that we've gotten to watch over the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Briar that was pretty exciting, and Scotty's that Rachel Holman just tore apart.
She certainly is something. And it's when she's on, she is on.
Yeah, that's for sure. Watched a little bit of her game at the Worlds, and she didn't have her A game with her, but hey, it's a long week.
And we see Stone from Team Scott Howard in the rings there. Corner guard coming up for Calvert. Calvert does have the hammer throwing those red stones. Threw it right on the pin for the draw of the button.
That's always a good feeling.
Yeah, well, for me as a club level curler, I say, man, I hate to have wasted it on that.
Yeah. I do like starting a game by a skill competition versus a flip of a coin.
So, Team Scott Howard, they're coming into this with a 3-0 record. They have wins over McDonald's, Goskins, and Wembley. And for Calvert, they're in a 2-1 with a win over Ryan Kleider, lost to Chase Sinnott, and then a win over Height.
Yeah, I did the Goskin Howard game last night, and I'm telling you, it felt like the score was a runaway for Scott. Vuder Gosjins, he just made some incredible shots from the fourth end on, got it to an extra end. Just a hell of a game. Scott ended up winning it, of course, and I say, of course, not like he should have, but I mean, he did have the hammer in the extra end, and he was he made a great shot to force it to an extra end. But the one thing I admired about both teams, a lot of good shot making, but it was quick, quick, quick. There wasn't a lot of discussions. People knew what they wanted to do. So yeah, it was quite a contrast to having done Kevin Cooey the game before.
Well, that was quite the hit and roll there by Kyle Kurz.
Yeah.
To just weld it right on there.
Yeah, and weld it for a shot. Scott's just trying to nose it, and yeah, stay right there.
They unlock it. They are the shot rack.
Mm-hmm.
And we might be on that express train to Blanksville.
I don't have a problem with that.
I had this. I do have that song written, but I had a musician friend of mine make up an accompaniment for it. So that'll be some fun.
Good.
Yeah. Maybe I get Jerry to throw some highlights on it. We have a little music video.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe you can take the music to Nashville.
Ah, there you go.
I didn't quite see what the call was, but I'm assuming that it was just down to it and trying to rearrange the angle a bit.
And the angle's not necessarily perfect for Calvert at this time. So here we see him trying to work it over.
Yeah, just going to lose the curl there. Yeah.
So shot stone for Scott Howard without the hammer. But you can't ignore all those red rocks there. They could end up on the board if you're not careful.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like he's trying to, excuse me, hit, I'm going to say almost nose. That'll spill both red rocks and the yellow. Which would leave one lonely yellow, which I'm sure, what's his name? Isn't that awful? What's his name? Braden would be happy with, but needless to say, Mr. Howard's team decided that they're going to make a liar out of me and make all four of them go away.
Yeah, Matt Cam got rid of that in a hurry. So now they get a chance to try to use that corner guard.
Yeah, which is always the objective. If you're throwing one, is hopefully you can use it.
So it's our first look at Corey Chambers.
Yeah, Corey and Braden have curled together for years and years. Or is it Kyle? Is it Braden and Kyle? Actually, I think all three of them might have curled together for quite a time. I think it's now that I think of it, I think it's Kyle. Kyle's been with them all through juniors, and Kyle's throwing second rock. So actually, now that I remember, because I was talking about it last night, Corey came on board in 2023. It's Kyle and Braden that have been together for years and years.
We're going to have Matt Cam try to take on the run here. On the one, take
bingo.
Them both out. We have a bingo. Hold your cards.
Yeah. Wow. Good throw, and managed well down the ice, and great outcome. Now gonna try and replace it, but this time going around it, it's a yellow rock. So if they're successful and Team Howard is successful in playing a run back if they need to, it'll at least be yellow onto red.
This one's going to be nicely overburied. Scott's going to eye up the run here.
Yep.
As long as you make contact, you're in a pretty safe spot.
Yeah, you really don't want to miss this one, because if you do and you stick around, I mean, Calvert will just go around the guard that'll be left. Try and sit 2.
Think they might have lost the line here.
Nope.
Going to get just enough of it. Lose the run stone, but so another come around will be forthcoming. And we'll be sure to give you updates on our other matches happening throughout the game. You can log right on to Curling Zone or our YouTube channel, and we have every sheet running. So no reason to miss out on any of your favorite action.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been out here, but we do have some interesting games going on. 8 teams in action.
It's truly an international crowd.
Yes. Another good stone.
Both teams are fairly well dialed in on the draw weight in the early going here.
Scott's just going to play the same shot. I guess the good news for Team Calvert is if he makes the run, he's not going to be stuck behind the guard, because they have to head it just a little bit on an angle.
Howard on the way. Hard to hold it again. This is going to go over the top. That's going to be a free draw to the rings for 2. Just never had that line. They almost lost the first one, and that one they did.
And we heard, yeah, and then immediately, whoa, followed by him another quick, yeah, hard. So I don't know whether that, I mean, because typically in the first end, at least yesterday especially, those rocks with normal hit weight, they did not move.
So ice might be just a skosh different, but anyway, here's Braden Calvert with the final stone of the first end. Just needs a piece of the paint.
Yeah, and he just threw that behind the corner guard, so this should be pretty close to automatic.
It's there on cruise control right into the rings. So hang 2 for Braden Calvert. He takes the early lead. We'll be back from Martensville right after this.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
That's my.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Welcome back to Martensville. It's the Martensville Curling Stadium International. Braden Calvert took a 2-stone lead right there in the early going, taking advantage of a little misstep by Scott Howard. It will be Howard with the hammer here in the second end. They're throwing the Yellowstones. We're happy to have you with us here on Curling Stadium. And indeed, we are back. Sorry about that little hiccup, folks. Second end action here for Martensville.
Kyle Kurtz getting ready to throw for Team Calvert.
And what's the call here, Terry?
I think they're coming in playing that out-turn draw down to the shots, or the second shot stone there, the other rock that's in the house that's currently taking up space by Team Howard. Looks pretty good.
Just has to whisker past that guard. No problem there. Maybe a skosh heavier than they would have liked to. It's going to tap it somewhat, leave some room for Howard to be able to get after it. And they're eyeing up that double, Terry. And do you think you see enough of it?
Yeah, you do, but I don't think you play it with a ton of weight. Don't know whether that was coming from this sheet or not, but I heard just through. No?
No, they run it back instead.
Yep.
Definitely more the percentage call. On this line, a little bit better. Back. Oh, and they dead jam it in the back on their own.
That was the problem. That was the risk that you were taking playing that shot. Now, that just allows Braden to run up and get rid of this corner guard and
simplify things a bit.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if this is made, that if Howard just decides, you know, this end is not working out, we'll just call it a day and make the double and try and get into the third end.
And it does appear that the appeal is in order.
Yeah, this call just lost all the excitement of this end, I think.
Yep. And here's Jason Cam. 1 and 2, no problem. And up and out the side just for good measure.
Yeah.
I think we just bought a ticket on that train to Blanksville.
Yeah, I think so too.
So we talked about the Brier and the Scotties, and of course we have Women's Worlds going on. Then it won't be too long before we have World Juniors coming up too in Cortina.
Yes, that's right around the corner.
One of the team representing the U.S. is actually in Martensville with us this weekend, Team Wendling.
Yes, I heard that. Now, are you familiar with the boys that are playing there?
I certainly am. I'm happy enough to be a sponsor of their team, and a couple of them are members of my club.
Nice.
It's kind of intimidating to have taught this little rascal how to throw a stone, and now I'm very happy if I can score 2 points. But you've done a lot of coaching yourself, so it's very satisfying.
Yeah, it really is to see people, progress in the game, whether it's just from a technical side or, the strategy side, tactical. Yeah,
absolutely. Just to think that might have played one little part of that journey is kind of nice.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is the kids usually are quite open about thanking the people that helped them.
Oh, and these 5 young men are true gentlemen.
Yeah. So Jason's brother Matt is trying to execute a nose hit.
That will return the favor.
Yep. And as you see, Scott's going down already because this is, as they've already got it in their head, that they're going to try and blank this end.
That's nice and polite, not wasting any time. So here's Corey Chambers.
This will give Scott an opportunity just to check in on draw weight. Braden's a former World Junior champion.
Well, there you go.
In juniors, he's actually a 2-time Canadian champion. And so Scott will have an opportunity here to blank the end, which was the goal, I think, once they ripped the double there and got down to one shot in the rings.
So Scott Howard looking to blank the end here. Final set of the second end.
Well done.
And that is gone and out of the house. And we'll be right back from Martensville right after this.
Team Homan rocks. Team Mowat rocks.
Yeah, no kidding,
But
eh?
who rocks harder?
And they still had to move to
On
Minnesota.
April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare.
Yeah.
Join us in Toronto at the Curling Group's first ever Battle of the Sexes.
Good on them.
As world number 1 team Homan takes on world number 1 team Mowat in a head-to-head charity curling skins game with a twist. 8 ends, 4 rule changes, and curling like you've never seen before. Watch it live on the Grand Slam of Curling website, app, and YouTube, with celebrity coaches and special guest appearances. The Curling Group's first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, April 7th, Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Get your tickets now at thegrandslamofcurling.com.
Feel that you're
Let's rock!
talking about.
Well, that's where they. Looks like they left the stage. It's the. They have the training centers there in Cheska.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah. And they get to use the official USA curling stones, so they get
Yeah.
Which it's different when the stones are clicking a lot.
Yeah, they certainly tend to have livelier striking bands
And welcome back to Martensville. It's the Curling Stadium, Martensville International. Braden Calvert with a 2-0 lead. We had a blank in 2. Scott Howard throwing the yellow stones, has the hammer.
Yeah, to start this, and Team Calvert went into the rings. Scott had Tim Marsh throw a corner guard, and now Braden had asked Brendan to throw one in behind the rock he threw first, and you're all caught up.
It did slide just a little bit behind the tee line, so they're going to try to take advantage of that.
Yeah. I mean, Scott likes rocks in play for sure. I mean, he's not afraid to see a bunch of rocks, and this one's a little light, though.
A little light, and it's going to catch that high one in the rings. So a chance for Team Calvert to lie 3.
Playing the out turn, and I mean, I don't think he'd be totally upset if they rolled right out to the extreme edge.
On the way from Kyle Kurz. Just keeping it clean right now.
Lined them up pretty good. They may all go. Oh no, probably not. I can't see how much space.
I think the middle one jams, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But we'll find out in just a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it looks like it will drag a little, but you're probably right. That middle rock probably just stays right there if you hit it any bit high. But I mean, I'm sure Scott wouldn't mind hitting and rolling underneath his corner guard.
On the way from Jason Cam, going to make the hit, roll under cover, does catch the one in the rings, didn't remove anything from the house, so that's unfortunate outcome there.
Yeah, not quite what they were looking for.
Were you surprised with the soft weight there?
Yeah, I really was. I thought, I mean, because the big thing is there, you want to keep your shooter in play, because as you can see, no shooter in play, and again, Braden just runs right up there. He can't get up there quick enough to get rid of that corner guard.
No problem here. Now the shooter is going to skitter across the house and out.
Now Scott's probably going to have to play a draw down to the back one there. See if he can't use Team Calvert's rocks to generate a deuce.
Because right now this is a force all day.
Yeah, right now. And the problem, Rock, may be that that biter up on top of the left-hand side of the sheet. Looking at it as it comes, the rock comes into you.
Yep. So it's second shot still, but plenty of room to remove it for Team Calvert here.
Yeah, unfortunately for Jason Cam, that rock ends up, a foot short, and it's for Team Calvert. It's like throwing a takeout, and as if there's no rock even behind it. I'm sure he wouldn't mind taking it with him, though, and he did. Yeah. And where that rolled to is, right in line with his rock in the back four.
Now back lined up again, and do you think I don't think they go at all. He's going to be forced to freeze again.
Yeah, or you just play a nose hit and stay on top of it. Control or board weight. Looks like probably they might be playing hack the board.
Just trying to unlock it.
I think they'd be happy to sit right on the nose of that and get rid of the back one. They're saying that it's a little light.
Jason tries to hold it there, and they do, and they lined up beautifully.
Yeah, that's real good. Depending on what kind of weight he's throwing, which he's throwing looks like a good peel. We may be into another blank end real quickly.
We'll see if we end up doing that again.
Oh, there it's stuck around. So that's mission accomplished for Team Howard, man. All because they were able to nose that shot and keep it glued and frozen to the Calvert rock.
Going to try to get that hit, and just a little skosh of a flop under there.
Nice throw.
And
almost forces, Braden to play the open hit.
And from rags to riches, Scott Howard has brought this out of thin air. Take a look at it again.
Yeah, well managed again. They off on, lightly sweep. Well managed stone. This out of thin air. Take a look at it again. Well managed again.
So here's Braden Calvert. Hitting the open stone. Really important to hang around for shot here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he doesn't get shot, if Scott chooses to go around that. We don't need to talk about it because you didn't make this any fun, Braden. I mean, I don't think he would have gone in behind only because it's a red stone, but
Would have been an aggressive choice.
yeah.
So Scott Howard with his first of two here in the third. Line looks pretty good, and we're right there on the beak. Likely no double there.
Yeah, no.
Just goes to show you how quickly an end can turn.
Yeah, one shot changed this whole end around. Well, actually two, but great nose hit, and then the inability to just get half a rock, and that yellow one stuck around. I'm surprised that Braden, by the looks of it, indicated that he wanted to roll into the center. I would think he'd want to stay right where it is. Oh, look at this curl. Wow.
Just catches a piece of it, and it's going to slide through the rings, not be counting. So it'll be a draw to the full 12-foot for Scott Howard for his deuce here in the third end.
Scott really needs to cash in on this deuce.
Final stone of the third. He's got one in his pocket, looking to add a second. Providing this a pretty firm escort down the ice. Got to make sure it's there.
Yeah, sweepers are going pretty hard. 15-5 on the draw, tee to or hog to hog. So
that's two, no problem.
Yep.
And it's all tied up after three from Martensville. We'll be right back. You're watching Curling Stadium.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Stronger agronomics. Better returns. Greater peace of mind. From pre-seed to post-harvest, you can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
So the kids from my club are and welcome back to Martensville. Happy to have you all with us here on Curling Stadium. I'm Dave Schmell, and I'm with one of my favorite folks, Terry Corbin.
Wow, that's funny. You're one of my favorite folks. That's why it works.
There it is. It was Scott Howard getting a deuce in that third end. So that leveled the score at 2-2.
Yeah,
And
very patient, and utilized that that one error and capitalized, and now the game's tied. So,
and when the teams are this good, you really have to make sure that you're right on point with everything.
Yeah.
It's been a good weekend to start thus far, and we're looking forward to having a good weekend of curling the rest of the way out here. Thank everyone who's joining us here, and especially our title sponsor, SaskTel. So, mixing it up a little bit here.
Yeah, Braden decided not to chase. He's going to use that corner guard. I threw it there, so I'm going to use it. Mentality, and well done. Right to the tee line and behind cover.
Here we go, and they're going to try to dig it out. Well, you heard him say that he's got a sliver.
That's all you got.
Well, it's kind of like brill cream. A little dab will do you.
That's right.
And to all of our viewers who were born after 1950.
That's right. That's right.
that was a hairstyling product.
Yeah, a little dab will do ya.
Trying to get the curl. They're past the guard. Now going to get to the face of it.
Yeah,
good enough.
Yeah, what a great shot, really.
And as a bonus, look at that lineup.
That's right. And then, and that's just a result of, having good touch. He asked for just through, and that's what was thrown by Jason. And
yeah, it's truly, I think that weight control is what really makes the top level teams stand out.
Yes.
Because as much as we love watching a 6-second peel go down the ice, it's usually the touch shots that win the game.
Yeah. If you don't have that in your arsenal, it's you really are kind of one step behind.
So unable to make contact with the backstone. So Scott Howard's going to come back underneath cover again, keep the pressure on.
Yeah, I think you'd like to get this where, you're biting a little bit of the force, so make the run back a little longer, but two, if heaven forbid Braden ever decided he wanted to come down to that back one, he would not be shot.
And a couple of last licks to put it right there at that top 4 foot.
Yeah. Good throw. It's not like Braden can hit this and have the shooter roll in, so.
Yeah. I think they're going to run their own in here.
Yeah.
Or throw a draw.
No, they're trying to run that red one in, and knows it, and give the house back to Scott, and that's exactly, well, not exactly, but that's pretty good execution.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I think the key is, that still remains his rock out front on the center line.
Yeah, he's always going to have a emergency exit button.
Yep.
You see the call here for hack weight.
Yep.
So here's match cam. They say it's just a touch quiet.
Yeah, this looks pretty good if they can get it through. And
Got to get it all
shot.
the way out the house. Ooh. Well, they do lie 1-2.
Yeah.
They did leave us Calvert Stone sitting in a potential counting position later.
Well, at least for Braden Calvert, I mean, now he can not only push the yellow through, but he can roll underneath the corner guard. A lot of options here still.
Yeah, he's going back to his first instinct here.
Yeah. And one of the sweepers indicated bumper.
That was very nicely done there.
Yeah, real good shot. The key was the roll getting underneath there.
Now they are second and third shot, but that's not important quite yet.
Yeah, that's only going to be important at the end of the end. That sounded weird, the end of the end.
That's why I let you say it.
I don't need any help. Sounded a little bit silly. Or a lot silly.
All right. Marsh picks this one up. Now over to Cam. Right there, top four. Beautifully placed. Now do you take the run back on? And the run back is going to be coming.
Yeah, I thought initially they might play the same shot and try and roll another one under the corner guard and, really kind of make this a potential crooked number here, but
this is close. Get the first one. He made contact to the back. No, he just slide by. So they should sit shot third and fourth.
they sit what?
You're not going to get me to say that again, buddy. Not falling for that one.
There. Yeah.
There's one for Felix Cecilene Swear Jar.
That's right.
So
what are
here's
they
Scott
looking
Howard.
at?
How do you get out of this?
Yeah, what are they looking at? I mean, you can't really kind of throw that in the crotch of the two because I think it probably goes. Oh, I guess now that you see the guard, you're never crotching it, so never mind. I was looking at the overhead view.
So I think you're just looking to get rid of two this way.
Yeah.
Should lie 1-2 after this if you make it well.
Oh,
just slides by again.
They've left the double and roll, and ugh. Now we'll see if Braden Calvert can take advantage of this opportunity, because this is big. Scott may be looking at trying to save the end, and probably is out is going to be making a draw around the center guard, which belongs to Team Calvert, and they've run that thing back in a couple of times. I guess if they make the double, the rock that they're going to make contact with is going to get jammed on that back red one. So therefore, may not. I guess it's not as big a problem as I originally thought.
You don't think you could take it over the top and spin your shooter underneath the corner guard?
Yeah, I don't think so. Have to hit it solid, solid half anyway. Maybe maybe more. I don't know how lively the houses are.
So Braden Calvert.
Yeah, he's playing this relatively quiet.
This is going to curl over the top. They'll avoid the jam.
And that's still a good shot, though. I like that. Forces
and that
Scott.
Leaves them sitting 1, 3, and 4.
Yeah. Well done, sir. Well done.
So it does look like it's going to be the draw from Scott Howard to try to save himself here.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Calvert's as good as Scott can make it. Calvert's probably gonna have a shot here at multiple score, because he's got where that rock rolled to. It's still usable for him.
So last from Scott Howard. And this does not look heavy.
It's not, and it's got a curl still.
It's going to come on down as in the back now. Can they make them both go away?
Yeah, it looks like red still won.
Very close. I think it might be yellow.
Do you?
Yeah, just by a hair, but
no, it's a sliver. It's a sliver, Dave.
A sliver. I'm sorry. Oh, it's a skosh.
Yeah, there you go. I think it's red, but
well, either way, if you come down and even make contact to it, it's gonna move it far enough. So it was a good effort by Scott Howard there to try to get out of it. And what could have been a disaster likely will only be a score of 2 here. Braden Calvert needing to find the 4-foot here. Final stone on the 4th end.
But again, this is an opportunity to score 2 at the start of the end. I mean, if you told me I could have my 2 with hammer, I'd be taking it. This obviously looks pretty good. 15.
Just needs to come on down. The backing is not a problem.
Yeah.
And there you go. Put 2 on the board for red. And Calvert takes a 4-2 lead halfway through. We'll be back from Martensville right after this.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome back to Martensville. It's Calvert with a 2-stone lead after 4. We're happy to have you here with us on Curling Stadium. And got that deuce for Calvert, but it had a potential for a second to be a lot more, Terry.
Yeah, those were quietly, Team Calvert was quietly building up red rocks and the redstones in the house, and Scott had to make sure that they got rocks in the right place, or that could have been disastrous. But that end's over, and we're moving on, and now let's see what Scott can do with the hammer.
We got a long corner guard up. And the center comes back. And we're off to the races.
You bet.
In March, looking to draw right on down here.
Little brother letting big brother do all the work, the heavy lifting.
He is providing emotional and moral support.
Exactly. So it looks like Team Howard will be getting ready to open up the front.
Yeah, that draw was not successful, so
yeah,
going to be time to reset.
Yeah, really got to go. They want to bite the center line.
See, both teams a little bit light on these shots here in this fifth end. Jason Cam on cleanup duty. Clean up 1, 2, and that's all you'll do.
Yeah.
Still left a lot of detritus out there.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be happy with that throw.
So most of these angles look pretty good if you're Calvert.
Yeah.
None of the yellow Howard racks are runnable into the rings.
Yeah, Scott wants to make sure, you know, if he can't get his deuce, that he doesn't allow a steal here. Therefore, he's going to have to make sure he's got a shot.
That guard's long enough there, but might be able to make a run at this. Only problem, Terry, is there's plenty of cover to draw under again.
I know.
So in the long run, one, get the other one, and away it goes.
Like you said, I mean, that was a good shot. I mean, no question about it. It still leaves Team Calvert the opportunity to bury a stone under all that rubbish out front.
So try to make one just a little bit better this time. They've been carrying this one the whole time. I have to keep on dragging it, boys.
Yeah, to your point, I mean, we've had a couple of rocks actually come up shorter than, you know, what was called.
And now if they can ever figure out this intern side here, Team Howard could be in business.
Yeah, although I'm a little surprised that Scott's willing to leave that red rock on the top of the 12. Matt Cam was thinking along the same lines I was, but Scott says, I really like this.
Okay, see, there's an important bit of information.
But, you know, really, is it? I mean, you're able to get to the nose of that and run it back as well, so. I just have a preference for controlling the front of the house. Seen too many taps be made.
Now the die has been cast.
Yeah. This is a good throw.
It does float down a good bit behind the tee line.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And they have a tendency to never get closer.
Yeah, it's funny how that works out. The only thing they get closer to is the hack.
So after that really interesting fourth end, just some minor miscues, but from each squad, honestly, has left us with a big mess here.
Yeah. I got 14-2 on Jason's throw. Or no, Maddie's throw, I guess it was. I got 14.6 on this, just meaning it's pretty close to the same weight.
And Brennan was trying to push it over there to be very similar. And Scott is committed to dancing with this.
Yeah, is he ever, eh?
So Matt Cam, try to dial in that adjustment just a little bit.
This is
They
later.
got to go for the weight.
Yeah, this is later.
And can they get it all the way for shot? Really needs to be shot, and it won't be. So Calvert, and you hear a bit of the dissatisfaction there, but Calvert is underneath all that cover.
Yeah.
So playing the come around here, or maybe a little tap?
I mean, I think they called the straight come around. This is just, what I guess what your preference is. I mean, I like the straight come around. Playing this come around, you're playing straight draw. If you're playing the tap, you gotta throw it a tad heavy and.
So Braden Calvert.
Like these are easier for the sweepers to judge.
And they had picked this one up early.
Yeah, 15-1. They're calling top 4.
And can they carve it all the way underneath?
Pretty good.
Is pretty good indeed. And they lie 1-2. So get out your magic wand, Terry. How do you fix this?
Hey, you created it by going around that with that intern. I didn't like it at all, but can you? I guess you can get to the nose of that. I think he's looking at running it in and possibly make the double.
Is there a world where that angle gets all 3? I think there might be.
Well, I mean that's what they're looking at. You have to hit that red one on the forefoot pretty thin.
I think at this point you got to give it a go. I don't think there's a good draw to be made, Terry.
No, I don't see it either. I mean, you could play the draw that they've been playing, that intern draw, and try and tap that yellow, but wow, that's to curl so much because you can only hit half of it, or you only want to hit half of it.
Okay, you're discussing the angles there. They know it's close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like over the top would be an option.
There's a nice look at those angles.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what they settled on, but they are going to run that red one in.
He's not sold from the hack.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure it doesn't look great, but just got to commit to it. And he's not committed yet.
Matt Cam saying, let's go, buddy.
Yeah. It ain't going to get any easier. No, it isn't.
Okay, so now is he looking at slashing the other way?
Jason's trying to say maybe that intern looks, tap looks a little better. Matt's got it lined up, though.
And we're going to take another look at it.
Yeah,
so feel
feel
free to interact here in the chat, guys. What would you be throwing?
Yeah, I think that's a good decision, though, on Scott's part. Come down, reset, go through your routine.
Believe they settled on the little bit of an easier slash, but here we go. Scott Howard.
This is
past the guard and past everything. You see another look at it, just whizzed right through the hole and took out their own for good measure.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, that wasn't that far off from making it, but might as well have missed it by, a foot. Still same outcome. I think all he's going to have really is that somehow got to find a way to tap that yellow rock 2 feet.
You could always play in off the one on the 12-foot on the outturn side.
Yep. Yeah, I just think this all comes back to, leaving that, red rock at the top of the 12. I mean, people can argue all they want that, well, if he makes the in-turn draw, then we're not talking. But he didn't make the in-turn draw, and it ended up being, this rock that was there was, useful to Team Calvert, which it was always going to be useful. That's why I was surprised that they didn't remove it at the time.
So often you hear about people talking about those control rocks there in the center. So Calvert trying to make this as difficult as possible for Scott Howard.
Yeah.
Just a clean on it.
Yeah. And I mean, we're talking straight guard, so
stops in a pretty good place.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, is that too? Yep, he's going to look right to that.
Scott's looking at that. He doesn't. He probably doesn't think the in-turn tap is there.
I think it's there. It's just not as easy as the. Neither of these are easy. We went from having to do a straight platform dive to a inward handstand somersault with 3.5 twists.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
But buddy, does it actually ever get both the Reds to go?
Well, I think that's what he's looking at. I think he's hasn't quite given up on that. But you're not scoring 2, so what does it matter? Or I don't think you're ever scoring 2.
I think he thinks he might be able to.
Wow.
And in that case, I'll have what he's having.
Yeah. All of 2 of them.
This is all right. Get your popcorn ready, folks. Scott Howard looking at 2 for the big end off here. Final stone of the 5th end. Line is close. Push it over just a little bit on the 1 and miss it. Slide right on by. And it's a steal of 2 for Calvert. And they'll take a 6-2 lead after 5 here in Martensville. We'll be right back.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game. Live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
And I mean, and this is not an excuse, but literally, when you're playing out that wide, I mean, sometimes, yeah, I mean, you're at the mercy of, potentially different ice conditions. And one thing
Proudly
that I've
pulling
seen
for this generation of Canadians and
further
the
out
next
you go, the
for over
straighter
40
it
years
stays
at the
for
Scotties
longer,
Tournament of Hearts.
Sure.
But Scott made a point of saying, no, I really like this.
Yeah.
How do you like it now?
Well,
you forgot to say, I really like it if you make it.
and we're back, and we've been back from Martensville for quite some time now.
Yes. That's a big steal of 2 points, and I'm not sure Scott believed that intern was there, but I tend to think it had more of a chance of making it than that in-off just on a personal level. But
well, we were talking in the break, and I think we were hot mic through that whole break.
Oh dear.
So it was just a tough choice to make, and didn't work out the way you wanted it to.
Yeah, they're gonna throw up their corner guards, and obviously Team Calvert won't be able to remove either of them. They'll have to put another rock in play. You would think. I can't see them throwing it through, but they'll put another rock in play, and then we'll see what Team Howard can muster up and create some offense.
Well, you're certainly looking for at least a deuce, probably trying to see if you can't weasel a 3 in there somehow.
Yeah, this is becoming a more common call. as curling progresses. Trying to choke off the one corner guard.
That does make it around the guard, at least a little bit.
Yeah, and the good thing about that stone, it's full 8 foot for all intents and purposes, and it's above the tee line. I think that's as good as you can do when you try and choke off the corner guard.
It's a really interesting evolution because conventionally you would never tell somebody to draw underneath your opponent's corner.
Yeah. I guess the only good news is with Scott being at 3-0, it's not the end of the world.
And that one from Jason Cam just wicks off their own there.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, it's not looking sunny in Martensville right now. So, the takeout is on order. And Team Calvert will be in the yellow removal business for the rest of the end.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of the guesswork out of the strategy book for Team Calvert.
He's now trying to use the stones that are in play to his advantage, freeze down onto them. Nothing's off the table now.
No, for sure. I mean, this is the all-important sixth end, yeah, you'd like to score a whole bunch, but I mean, just the way the end is started, I mean, a big score is, not looking likely, but certainly trying to muster a deuce here is top priority.
They had to stay on that to not lose a line, but they gave it a couple pounds of weight in the process.
Yeah. I mean, again, if you're Team Calvert, I mean, I think you just decide where your next step is, and I think you're into Vice's first rock, so he's elected to potentially guard this. He is sitting 2. I still might be willing to rip that.
That the guard's the call.
Yep. I guess you kind of, maybe he's thinking, no sense trying to help Scott here by running potentially one of Scott's rocks into one of the red rocks. So again, this is, comfort level, I guess.
So the guard comes up, and now Scott's going to try the freeze on the other side. And Marsh is going to walk that right on down. Sinbao is as good a spot as he could have put it.
Mm-hmm.
Now do you? This could be interesting because there are catchers here. Just trying to run this straight back into the crotch and get him moving.
Yep. I mean, not funny, haha, but it's just interesting, you know. You've played the guard, and I thought for a minute, you know, so he was all in on you know, Garden for his life, and
that one over curled.
Yeah.
So the question is, can Scott make something out of this, Terry?
Yeah, I think he can, and I mean, you know, I get it. You know why he guarded the last on the previous rock that Team Calvert threw. You don't want to fuel another team's offense, but I mean, in essence, you've now one shot later turned around and potentially fueled the opposition's offense. I think you might even be able to sit second and third shot here.
That's what we hear them discussing. So they're looking at just kind of jostling them a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can sit second and third. You definitely can sit second.
So you see the contact point they desire there. Just try to skitter their shooter underneath the cover.
Yeah, and I mean, the other important part is, you know, kind of pushing that yellow undercover as well, which you should do. You're going to make contact.
Key point here, the whole squad gets together.
Mm-hmm. I think if you can get second shot out of this and second shot being undercover, I mean, I think it has some potential. This to me seems more about weight control, but they don't look like they're throwing this quiet at all. Well, they're not throwing it big weight.
So the second for Matt Kim.
Yeah, always
trying to
curl.
And it's got past the guard. Are you going to get to the catcher? You'll spin there. And you lie third and fifth.
Yeah, that over curled.
So take a look at this. Just punch it through the hole, right, Terry?
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what you do. Half a rock, and then you roll over onto the other side of the center line. You leave Scott, basically, I'm thinking some kind of a, back 8 foot shot on the shot stone, and because he'll need a roll underneath. But
you see them mentioning hack weight, so not throwing a ton at this.
I
Braden
thought I
Calvert
heard
with his person too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought I heard him say a thick half. Yep.
Get it, punch it through the hole, no problem.
Yeah.
That leaves Scott Howard staring at 4 counters.
Yeah, and he's looking at trying to make a triple.
So draw this up for us, Terry.
Well, he's trying to hit about, by the looks of it, about a quarter of the rock, catch the right half side of the redstone, and then have it come over and touch that red rock that's frozen on the yellow. I'm not sure that if you are to make this that you don't get all 4, but it almost looks like you'll catch the backside of that rock on the far left.
Yeah, they should all get moving here.
And you're throwing the in-turn.
Big shot for Scott Howard here. His first in the 6th. Trying to touch them all. And he touched 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
and
he
4!
did. He made the quad.
Are you kidding me? Man, he's sugar,
there.
he's spicy, he's everything nice. Scott Howard.
Wow, say that twice. And you're going to get a chance.
Oh, man. You're on it. You get that one. You clip it. Skitter on over around the horn. How about that?
Yeah. What a fantastic shot. And, you have to be curling at this level, to kind of see those shots, let alone make them. But, he didn't even, kind of blink. He just goes like, yeah, we got the triple by doing this. Does it catch this side rock? Maybe the quad's there. What a shot.
Oh. So now, Braden Calvert now is looking at 2 counters. He's going to have to draw his way out of trouble here.
Yeah. If that isn't a highlight reel, I don't know what is. Is this good enough?
This
into
needs
the slide.
to go.
Yeah, it's into the slide path. He's
needs
short.
to go. Can they get there for shot stone?
No, he's short.
Survey says no.
Wow. This is a draw for 3. Who saw this coming after Vice Rocks?
And Scott Howard from rags to riches is going to have a draw the 8-foot for a triple.
But again, back to that, he played the guard on one shot, and then he plays the hit, and I mean that's the only way you were going to help Scott and fuel his offense was by trying to remove that rock, which ended up helping Scott with that. I mean, it was what, 3rd, 4th shot? I don't even know what it was. Ooh, this needs to. He's probably so amped
He's
up
hopped
after.
up. Yeah, he's hopped up on the adrenaline here.
This
Sit,
is,
Ubu, sit.
yeah, this is gotta really sit hard.
It's going to try to hang on.
It
And
is.
they bring that comes on back, and there you go. 1, 2, 3 for Scott Howard. He cuts into that deficit, and we still got a game left to play here. Calvert has a hammer when we come back.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Welcome back to Martensville, and Terry Corbin. What a shot that was by Scott Howard.
Unbelievable. I mean, the triple was one thing, but the quad, that was a whole other thing. Certainly was there. Scott recognized it. Good on him. And then a great line call by Matt. And yeah, the end result is a quadruple. And even though we had a little nervous moment there and that Scott's final draw for 3, as it was a little heavy, it did stop in time. And yeah, like you said, now we got a game.
So, Terry, you're Braden Calvert, and you had to just feel your heart break a little bit just then, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, he has to take some responsibility, like we just have a saying on teams that I coach and play on that, you just don't want to fuel the other guy's offense. And I just feel that, he played the guard on I think Weiss's second shot, and then he called the takeout, and it didn't get executed properly, and that's what he did. He fueled the Team Howard offense, and they took advantage of that. And and you see, Braden came back to the backboards and kind of smashed his broom a little at a frustration, but it just literally, you have to acknowledge that Scott saw it, made it, and now you got to park that somehow and just play the 7th end. It's a critical end for Team Calvert, but they're still in the driver's seat. They're up 6-5, and theoretically, it's each got a hammer. So make the best of your opportunity with the hammer. Scott's all in.
Yeah, you can't worry about the spilt milk now. It's already spilled.
That's right. Just need to find the cat to lick it up.
I don't even know what to say to that one, buddy.
Why you just go meow?
So looking to simplify things here.
Yeah, we're in peel mode. If you're Team Calvert.
And they get them all moving.
Yeah, that's really
nicely
good.
Done. Almost all the way out. You see it again right here. No mistake for that one.
No.
And now we're in rinse, lather, and repeat mode.
Yeah, I'm sure Team Howard would like to have a yellow rock there close to the center line, but they're going to put one there now.
And as we've seen before, he runs up to peel it. A little faster this time.
Yeah. Well, and I think if you're Team Calvert, or Calvert, you say, okay, front end's jobs are done. We're in good shape.
Another nice peel.
Yeah, I think Scott needs to probably think about coming in again now. Just don't know how much. And you certainly don't want to give up two, but you can't just kind of walk up and blast those because then you got a blank.
And they're going to have a powwow about this.
Yeah. And this could be as simple as, are you all in agreement of, we win or we play 8 or we lose it here?
And sometimes that's the right strategy to take.
Yeah. Looks like they're all in.
Even though we have a stat for what your point differential is, it ultimately doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And they're going to come right on down into the rings. Probably a skosh heavier than would have liked. This is going to be pretty easily removable.
Yeah, I mean, they were trying to carve it. I get it. Wondering if it, wouldn't have been better off just left alone. But he did bump it quite a ways.
Especially going down that slide path where we saw it almost get a little fudgy in the last end.
Yeah.
Might be able to use that to your advantage there. That rattles it around.
Yeah, I actually do like the weight choice there, though. I mean, it would be so easy just to run down and kind of throw it as hard as you can and try and make a whole bunch of rocks disappear. And I know Team Howard's saying, these rocks kind of are our friends, even though they're above the tee line. But I do like the weight selection there.
This is a better attempt at a freeze. Still taps it just a little bit, though.
Yeah, it's on the wrong side, too. Team Calvert doesn't mind taking their own with them. Nose hit kind of releases 2 rocks, and you still control the top of the tee. Yeah, Scott would have loved to have seen that one slip out of the rings there at the back.
Well, almost a little bit of a stagger to play with here. Do you ever come to the back 8 someplace?
You have to. Unless, of course, you're looking at making a triple because the quad was too easy.
I think we are looking at that.
Oh, they are, for 100%, because
Yep.
it's there. It's definitely there.
Go and do this, try to persuade Calvert to blank and work a steal, or
Yeah.
if he takes one, take the hammer back.
Yeah.
So does Scott Howard have another big one in the tank?
Well, I think the question is, if he does, do you?
I don't know. We'll see what we can do.
Okay. Come on, Scotty, make this.
So Scott Howard, having just made a quad, a triple should be no problem. Here we go. Got to hold that line. Keep it there. Keep it there. 1, 2, and over the top. You won't get all 3.
Yeah, he just needed to hit a little bit more of that stone that he made initial contact with. This now sets up a potential easy deuce. Be interesting to see if he knows that whether Scott would go around it or he'd try the double. I think he's trying to roll it a little bit to the right side of the rings.
So the first from Calvert, and they're trying to carve this right off the jump.
Yeah, they're carving it.
You got a lot of separation there.
Yes, they do. Obviously, the double's still there.
So how much of this do you have to hit, Terry?
I'm going to say you probably have to hit a thin half. Probably a third, I guess.
Milestone the 7th end for Scott Howard. Looking for the crosshouse double here.
We're going to have to curl this. He looked like he in-outed it.
He's going to get the one and go underneath the
Yeah.
other one. That'll be a free draw for 2 for Braden Calvert.
Yeah, Scott's gonna be forced to kind of be creative and make a 3 appear out of nowhere again.
Final stone the 7th end. Calvert's got one. He just needs a piece of the rings.
They jumped on this right out of his hand. He's fine by the looks of it. Yeah. Yeah. Hanging out there in the good stuff.
And the good stuff and good enough for two. They take a 8-5 lead. Howard has the hammer coming home when we come back.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
And we're back, and it's been a heck of a game here from Martensville. I'm Dave Schmel. He's the Prince of Pebble, Terry Corbin. And Terry, why don't you take us around the rings here?
All right. Well, we've got Dave Hyde leading Wesley Wendling 9-3. So, in other words, Canada over the U.S., Dave. We have Jordan McDonald. He's in a 4-4 tie with Rylan Kleider. We have our game here, 8-5 Calvert. And then we have Team Sinnott over Vuter Goskins 4-2. You're up to date, bud.
Why, thank you very much. And it's been a doozy here. We've had a complete spectrum of emotions, for sure.
Yes.
And some unfortunate tongue twisters along the way.
Yeah, shots have become something of a different version.
Well, the Howard team will need to make sure they lie at least 3 at the end.
Yeah. Scotty, Team Howard, they've decided to go with the double guard, the double corner guard.
That's really like a preference thing, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of it. I mean, I like the 2, but you know what? I mean, so many times you throw the second one and it ends up choking off, one of the draw pass, and but yeah, just kind of a preference thing. Braden Calvert just asking this to come into the top of the 8-foot. They've done that. Well done. Well placed. I'm a little surprised that they didn't throw the second one of the end that they throw through the rings.
Just like you said, those stones are kind of Scott's friend right now. Don't want to generate offense for your opponent. We've seen how dangerous that can be already in this
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
So Team Howard's going to try to loop one around here. And it just weasels its way by that guard.
Yeah.
But it's hitting season now. Kyle Kurz. With the straight peel, no problem there.
Yeah. So you kind of know that Calvert's running that corner guard into the yellow, trying to make the double. So, I mean, Scott's decision is, where do you really want to play the rest of this end?
So if you didn't come into the center right now, what would be your other option?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Scott knows either. I don't think he knows what he really wants to do. Like it's now, kind of making sure that you can get to your, last rock.
Well, the real problem is, at least the way I see it, is that corner guard is kind of tight to the reins.
Tight, yeah, exactly.
So do you invest another stone in another corner and kick the peel can down the road, not one more stone, or do you get involved in it now?
Where are we at? Are we at Vice Rocks? I don't see the rock.
This is seconds last.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, you got options. You can, get into the pile, try and freeze it there at the one on the center line, the 4 foot. You can come in and round the corner guard and the stone on the 12 foot that's just biting the 8 foot. You can throw the corner guard to protect that one more time. Again, you need to make a rock in the 12 foot count by the looks of it. So they've got 3, and as we saw in the 6th end, Scott can make those triples, quadruples. I think this is probably the right call for the situation, because I think ultimately you're gonna need one helper from Team Calvert, whether that's a miss or whether that's running one of the Team Howard rocks, trying to run it through the house and clipping one of yours. You're just going to need a little help. Whoa. That's pretty good.
Not too bad at all.
Yeah. And you knew Calvert was, running up and going to try and make this double. I mean, and you may only need maybe the miss that you need is, that they don't make the double.
So Chambers,
like this.
Just like that, into the pile. And now things just got a little bit more interesting, Batman.
They really did. They really did.
Seeing that one come down and just caught it a little bit on the wrong side there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think you guard this now.
That looks to be the first call that Scott likes. And while we're talking about liking, why don't you give us a like on on YouTube. Really helps out the channel.
And it lets us know you're here.
So you throw the guard. I would assume the straight peel comes next.
Yep. So he just said it. Like, I mean, you could look at, kind of tap. I mean, again, I think, ideally, you probably need a little bit of help from Braden here. He needs to kind of cooperate.
Yeah, Scott Howard's trying to find a way to manufacture 3 here and get us to an extra end.
Well, I mean, theoretically, he's one double away from having 3 yellow ones count. But it's so early still. I mean, you talk about it's too early. I've only got 4 rocks left, but it is too early to be looking at removing one of those red ones, I think, because of the way they're grouped.
So they're looking at all the possible calls here and consequences of those calls. If you play that little hit and roll up on top of yours, there's surely something coming at like a 7-second wait down in the sheet next.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you could walk it down, you would tap that yellow one that's on the center line in the 8-foot into the rock on the other side of the center line, but on the 4-foot. Roll your shooter, couple stones to the same side of the center line, and turn over the house to Calvert. You would because you would also touch that yellow rock that's just on the biting the button back into the one that is on the button, and then I think Calvert probably hits the open one, and then you can maneuver the rocks again. It would have been
what you see Scott suggesting now is to tap back the Calvert stone to put a potential catcher there.
I totally get it. Yeah.
You're still going to have another Yellowstone populating the rings.
Yeah.
I like this call. This is creative. So here's the first from Matt Cam.
The only thing I don't like about it is that's a good shot. The only thing I don't like about it is like that top yellow one. I mean, it goes over the top easy, but now that Matt's thrown his shot and tried to bump it back, that thrown stone of Matt's now might be a little bit in the way of making that yellow rock go over the top.
So key choices upcoming here. So here's one to answer that's relatively just slash at that top one and get everything moving around some. But I don't know if I like that, Terry.
No, I don't. I mean, I think that that has probably the most potential to help Scott Howard. They, however, disagree.
Oh, they're just going to straight peel it off, it looks like. But this is hanging on the center line.
Yeah.
Gets the top guy, but massages those yellow rocks even closer to being.
Yeah.
And now you're dead frozen on there.
Yeah, again, I think that helps Scott.
I certainly think so. Listening to their conversations, then we can pick it up. So do you throw another yellow on top of the one that's in the top four?
Yeah, that was my first instinct was that, but I'm not sure. So then what does that leave Braden?
I have to throw something at some sort of angle, I would think. Or give himself a winger to use later.
Mm-hmm.
There's not, but it's pretty late already, Terry. It's late.
I know. This is Matt's last brick. Yeah. I can see what they're thinking too, but kind of even trying to get something over in the wings, because that back one. Well, the two on the full 4-foot reds, like they potentially go quite easy, I would think.
But you can't throw at it yet.
No. I think ultimately I like where they're talking about right now. It just has to be so perfect. Like you can't bounce off of it. So they've made their choice. They're going to try and freeze.
So Matt Cam with his last of the eighth. They like the line.
Yeah, I think they just need it to settle a little bit.
Yeah, just try to drag it over just a skosh. And you pretty much did just walk it down where you wanted to.
Yeah. I think that's pretty good.
I mean, right now, if you threw a yellow at it, I think you might make the two reds go for sure, right?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, yeah, I see him.
He's going to hammer it.
Yeah.
You get the one to go for sure.
Yeah, and I think he's trying to ensure that the top yellow on the center line goes.
Yeah, that goes all day.
But it probably ticks. Yeah, it might not tick. I was going to say.
No, I don't think you're going to release that one off the button yet.
No, you won't, but I just wondered if it goes back and pushes that red one out of the way.
Here's a first from Calvert.
Yeah, this is a heater peel.
Growls around, it does go out the side door. Now, still shots done for Calvert, but Howard still has some life left in him here. I think you need to freeze down to the top 4 red. That's my first thought, but
Well, then I think I don't know if you can get 3.
or just come right down there.
Yeah. I originally thought you were going to have to move that that yellow one that's on the 8 foot, but I don't. I don't think you have to now. I'm just trying to kind of visualize where rocks end up in play. One of the problem rocks is I think is that red one that's on the left hand side, just under the yellow. See, I guess I wonder with the shot they're calling, like, will you have enough room to score 3? Because that one on the back 4 is, it's out counting the one. I think you got to move that rock in behind the yellow there.
So now's the time, you say?
Yeah, I
Well, we will see.
Yeah, because I think the corner freeze doesn't get you enough.
Scott Howard with his first of 2.
This is going to curl a lot.
And, well, assess that situation, Terry.
Well, you are going to need help. I mean, and you're definitely going to need help. So you got to hope that he doesn't make the double. And he doesn't roll his shooter in for 3rd shot. Well, 4th shot.
Just need to make sure you don't jam that top guy.
So
that could go towards the button. In fact, I'm pretty sure it goes there all day. Is it too risky to try and make it the other way?
Yeah, I if he really wants to see what Scott has in his bag of tricks, he could just throw that down on top of the 4, on top of the yellow.
I don't think there's any world where he's not hitting something here.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I would be hard pressed to watch a draw. I'm thinking of a guy I played did a lot of curling with there, and he'd be the guy that would be, if I ever called the draw there, he would lie down in front of the hack and go, "You'll have to throw it over me."
Reminds me of the time I made a call and my third said, "I'd like literally anything other than that."
Yeah.
And the ice makers don't take it too kindly to you throwing a rock.
Yeah.
So here comes the hit. Try to seal the game right here. If he can make two go away,
Yeah.
it'll be time for shaky shakes.
Yeah, I think Corey said, like, if we make that, you can't pull a rock out of your pocket, can you?
So, Braden Calvert looking to improve to 3-1.
You know, and it just as he threw that, you know, again, the weight choice surprises me a little, but I think this is exactly what he had to do.
There we go. You get one, and you left it there. Oh my goodness. So how do you?
I don't think.
How do you make them go? And hold the shooter.
Don't you run the red one in and just a little off nose? That yellow will take both of those reds.
Yeah, it looks good to me, buddy.
Yeah. That's all I see. I don't see the hole there.
So Terry has him running the redstone in the 8-foot. Back onto the yellow. Push those two red guys off the button. And when you're all said and done, you hope to lie 3.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty close to a nose hit, but I think the problem is going to be the red stone that's on our left-hand side as we look at it on the back of the button.
Be the toughest to put enough energy into that stone. I agree.
Yeah. But I'm not going to say it isn't there.
No, we're not saying that anymore. Scott's put us out of that business tonight.
That's right.
So, Scott Howard to force the extra end. Needs to run it back, stick them all after he commits a balk. Good thing it's curling and not baseball.
Yep.
Final stone of the 8th end.
What a curl.
It's close. Get the one. Oh my goodness. There they go. 1, 2, 3. And it's tied up, and we'll have an extra end of curling here in Martensville. Let's see that one again.
Let's watch it again and again. And he doesn't touch the
just made it cleanly.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, I didn't think that was there, buddy. But we're all tied up, and we'll have bonus curling when we come back.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
I don't mind switching with you.
And we're back here. It's bonus curling in Martensville, Saskatchewan. I'm Dave Schmel, and he is a very astounded Terry Corbin right now.
I just want to know what the next act is. We're in scene 9. Wow, just some incredible shot making. I mean, Calvert's just got to be willing to pull his hair out. Like, what do I have to do? Giving up 2 threes, and I kind of thought I was in good shape.
So he does have the hammer, the last stone here in the extra.
Yeah, by the looks of it, they're going on an extra in the sheet next to them, too.
I do like that they push him back to throw him towards the glass.
Yeah, you know what? Me too.
The folks who are making it out to be there in person at the club deserve to get to see it.
Yeah, Goskins and Sinet look like they're going to an extra end. Looks like Vuter stole 1 and 8 is my guess.
So the center guard is up. The top 4 is there. The second center is going up.
Yeah, this is textbook so far.
I don't know. I didn't see any of those shots we've seen today. Any of the books I read.
Okay, put the comics down and get the big boy playbook.
I like pictures.
Yeah, our viewers have been treated to some pretty good curling here, let me tell you.
And if you haven't hit the like button yet, then I question your judgment.
That's right. Yeah, don't talk to me about bonus curling. Talk to me about shot making.
And we're following the playbook and bring a second one right on in now. Now, and it'll be Mr. Howard's move to determine what he wants to do.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit on the light side. It does get there.
Just want to tap that back a little bit, I think. Yeah. Again, you kind of know what Team Calvert's going to play. They're gonna be up there at the top of the yellow rock, trying to get those off the center line.
Boys are working hard to drag this one home.
Yeah, looks like it's not quite going to get there, and
still in a useful spot though.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Scott's probably just setting it up for the run double.
Oh, he needs to be able to run 4 stones back first. You know, I mean, three is too easy. You got that all day.
Yeah. Just reminds me of that, senior PGA. What do they call that? Golf Champions Tour. Where they have that commercial, these guys are good. Well,
these guys are good.
We've been treated to some really, really good curling here and shot making.
And thanks for joining us. And I don't know how the next drill is going to follow this one, but we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, well, I mean, standard, the bar is kind of high.
And our featured matchups for our next draw is going to be Cooey versus Court. And
I think it's Corte, but
Corte rather.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. I'm just. I
And
think
Dropkin versus Lee.
Now, where's Lee from?
I do not know.
Oh, okay.
I'm certainly not switching away from this game now to find out.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Korea, just so you know.
Ah, okay. Well, you'll be able to join myself and Sean Joyce on that call. And are you with Jimmer for the next one? Or?
I am so. Jimmer and I are paired at the hip.
So we throw in another guard, or now he's going to jostle him a little bit here. On Vice's first stones here. It's going to come on up, and we're just going to jiggle it around just a little bit.
Yeah. That's a tough shot.
I'm going to try to catch the second one on the way by here. On and off, they kind of like it. Well, it's kind of okay. Does leave those two Howard rocks right there in the middle.
Yeah.
Take another look at this one. That was the danger of trying to go for that. So break down the options here for Scott Howard.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to kind of visualize how these rocks end up, because I think you got to make a play on the reds. Yeah, get that. You want that one red one that's on the button on the back of the 4, I think.
So to move 3 stones there, that would be maybe a touch under hack weight, just through.
Yeah, I think not. Yeah, just through. Because you want to be able to use one of your yellows that's in front of the tee line. And where the one on the off the center line is, it's really of no use right now. Except to provide cover. Yeah, just through. Yeah.
Just a hair high here. backgammon with this final, the extra.
This has got a curl, I think, right out of his hand. It was. Timmy doing a lot of grunting here.
Gonna jiggle it. Ooh.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
If I'm not mistaken, you can get all these to go.
Yep, yep. It looks like about a half a rock.
So trying to remove a lot of granite here. Get 2 of them moving and 2 of them going.
Yeah, still Scott, I mean, not ideal, but he's got something to work with. Just now it's about, kind of shot selection. Do you want to play the freeze or do you want to play the double?
So just lock it right there.
Mm-hmm. And the sweepers just need to know this is all about weight because, I mean, no matter there's where they're trying to go, just freeze on to the one closest to the center line. But if you don't, get it there, I mean, it's as long as it's in that pocket. So this is, I mean, you're just sweeping basically for tee.
And they're being pretty clear on that. They don't really want to move it yet.
Yeah, I know.
And you see there, looking at the scoreboard, the 2 shots of the game up there, the 2 3-unders and 6 and 8, which have gotten us here. Certainly an important conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You took a little sliver less there. The extra from Scott Howard.
Yeah, I think the big issue here is just sweeping for weight only. I mean, line's important, but I think weight here is more important. And it's to the tee line. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Sit down, baby.
There you go. Very nice.
That's pretty good. So, see that first indication of throwing a draw to there.
Yeah, I think, obviously Scott would have preferred it to be just over a little bit more on the other side of the center line. But I think, they throw the draw. Like, Scott could still get shot rock.
It is going to be a draw down to that pocket, it appears.
Yeah, I mean,
I get some interjection from the front end here.
Yeah.
Well, if there's ever a time to throw your challenge flag, this is probably it.
That's right. That's right.
He likes it. That's what he wants.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can only kind of have your input, and then after that, it's
Well, skipper's going to throw it.
Braden's call, yeah.
So there you see that Cortez senior men's team is 3-0 thus far in this event.
I know.
So that'll be a doozy. Looking forward to calling that one. But we got some work left to do here. Here's Calvert with his first.
Did they oversweep this?
He put it basically where he wanted to.
That's really good because now
I just hammer it and make the triple and hope for help.
You might have to, because Scott, if he hits the yellow, that rock that's whoever's got the broom right beside that red rock,
it could be shot.
It's going nowhere, and it's going to end up being shot.
Just catch half a rock, a third of a rock, and hit and hope. Unless you see something else, buddy.
Yeah, don't. I mean, well, okay. I mean, I see something else, but I don't think it's even possible. I mean, I don't think you can go off the yellow in the 8-foot coming off of it and into the pocket.
No, I don't think so either.
No. That would really be the one way of keeping your shooter, maybe guarding it, but yeah, I don't think you may not get shot.
No, that would be an issue.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that Braden has to throw his last rock.
Yep.
That's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is to make it as difficult as possible.
Yeah, I don't think you could ever hammer the yellow in the 4-foot hard enough that you don't jam that one guy.
Mm-hmm.
It might spin up. That's possible.
Well, I mean, that's what I was looking at. Like, if you yeah, no, see, I don't think it does. Yeah, I think your best shot might be to try and make that triple and then a hope and a prayer.
Mm. Or as Sean likes to say every now and then, quick, distract the guy and change the names on the scoreboard.
Yeah, so they're talking about just catching the top yellow one, but
Whoa.
then does the second shot stone, does it not spin a little bit back into the button?
I think it's I think it might actually even go underneath the other yellow, but we'll see. Second bulk of the day for Scott Howard.
Yeah, well, after the first one, it kind of worked out, so I'm not surprised you wanted to do that again.
His final, the extra, needs some magic. Does he have one more in him?
Curling.
Does he have one more in him? Moving
Oh, he does!
Yes, he does indeed, and he lies too.
Yeah.
What a fantastic curling shot right there, Scott Howard. Let the record show I was right. It spun the way I thought it would.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he would, you know.
Well, he's going to have to throw his list.
Yeah. Well,
ninth
and he's elected to play the draw, which, I mean, I don't know Braden's MO that well, but if I were guessing, I would have said he would have thrown at the double. But Scott did what he needed to do. You know, he makes Braden throw the last rock.
Braden Calvert, final stone on the extra end. He needs full four.
It's out in the good stuff, so you're fine. It's not going to sludge.
They seem to like it. Get to the 4 foot and let it settle on down, and you get the throw to win the game. And in a fantastic effort between these two squads, Braden Calvert pulls it out in an extra. He can set that final score as 9-8 in what was truly a defensive struggle.
Well, and it's only fitting that not only does he have to draw full four for the win, but he draws the pin. That just kind of puts a bookend there on this game, which was fantastic to watch, fantastic to be a part of and call, and yeah, the company was real good too.
Hey, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back in just a little bit with 2 more featured games. So for Terry Corbin, Matt Hone, and Kai, we thank you so much for watching Curling Stadium. We'll be back in just a little bit.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Cool.
I don't know what my schedule's like, but I tend to look for you and Jimmy as my first choices. So,
oh shucks.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll when the schedule comes out. My problem is I tend to not get the schedule. I mean, I'm usually doing something